You're jolted awake by screaming, not your alarm clock, actual human screaming echoing through your village at 4 a.m. Welcome to Thomas Ironwood's world, where every sunrise could be your last, and today is about to test everything he's built. The year is 1348. The Black Death has already wiped out half of Europe, and Thomas can smell smoke on the wind. Not the good kind from morning cooking fires. The kind that means someone's world is burning down. Literally. Thomas rolls off his straw mattress, his joints screaming in protest. He's only 28 years old, but his body feels ancient. Every muscle aches from yesterday's 12-hour forge session, and his hands are covered in fresh burns that'll never properly heal. But here's the terrifying part. He's considered lucky to be alive at his age. His wife Margaret shakes him urgently. Thomas' armed men took the Miller family in the night. They're coming for taxes, or worse. Her voice cracks with terror because they both know what or worse means. In medieval England, you don't just lose your money, you lose everything. Your workshop, your home, your family. Thomas stumbles to his forge in the pre-dawn darkness, but something's wrong. His prized anvil, the 200-pound beast that's been in his family for 3 generations, has a crack running down the side. Without it, he can't work. Without work, his family starves. It's that simple, that brutal. But wait, it gets worse. As Thomas examines the crack, he hears the unmistakable thunder of war horses approaching. Dozens of them. The ground literally shakes beneath his feet as armored riders storm into his village at full gallop. Open in the name of Lord Blackthorn. The voice booms like thunder across the village square. Thomas peeks through his shutters and his blood turns to ice. These aren't tax collectors, these are mercenaries. The kind of men who burn villages for sport and leave no witnesses. His heart hammers against his ribs as he watches his neighbor, old Henrik the carpenter, dragged from his home. Henrik owes money for his sick wife's medicine. The lead mercenary draws his sword, and Thomas has to look away. The sound that follows will haunt the village forever. Thomas grabs his family and they flee to the hidden cellar beneath their workshop. His wife clutches their baby while his 2 sons, ages 8 and 12, try to stop themselves from crying. In the suffocating darkness, Thomas makes a decision that will change everything. Stay here, no matter what you hear. Don't come up. He kisses his wife's forehead, knowing it might be the last time. Then Thomas does something that seems insane. He climbs back up to face the mercenaries alone. Why? Because hidden in his forge is something worth dying for. Not gold or silver, but 3 swords he's been secretly crafting for the village militia. If these mercenaries find them, they'll know the village is planning to resist. Every man, woman, and child will be executed as rebels. Thomas emerges from his workshop just as the mercenaries reach his door. The leader is a mountain of a man with scars covering his face like a roadmap of violence. You're the blacksmith. We need weapons. Now, here's where Thomas shows the kind of courage that built legends. Instead of cowering, he looks this killer straight in the eye and says, "I only make farming tools. Nothing here for warriors like yourselves." The mercenary captain laughs a sound like grinding stone. Search the place. His men tear through Thomas's workshop, destroying months of work. Horseshoes scatter across the floor like oversized coins. Hammers crash against walls. Tools that took years to perfect are bent and broken in seconds. But they don't find the hidden compartment. Thomas watches his life's work get destroyed, but he doesn't flinch, because he knows something these killers don't. Real strength isn't about the biggest sword or the heaviest armor. It's about protecting what matters, no matter the cost. The mercenaries find nothing and move on, but Thomas knows they'll be back. He has maybe 6 hours before they return with torture devices to make him talk. 6 hours to save his village. What happens next is pure medieval badass. Thomas fires up his forge to temperatures that would melt modern steel. He works like a man possessed, repairing weapons, sharpening blades, creating armor from whatever scraps he can find. His hands blister and bleed, but he doesn't stop. The entire village rallies around Thomas's forge. The baker brings food, the farmer brings leather for armor straps, even the children help by working the bellows. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about standing together against impossible odds. As the sun sets blood red over the village, the mercenaries return. But they don't find the same terrified peasants they left behind. They find an army, not professional soldiers, but something more dangerous, people with everything to lose and nothing left to fear. The battle that follows becomes legend. Thomas, wielding a warhammer he forged that very day, stands at the front lines. The swing of his weapon carries the weight of protecting his family, his craft, his entire world. When the smoke clears, the village is still standing, battered, bloodied, but unbroken. Thomas's forge still burns bright, sending sparks into the starlit sky like prayers of gratitude. But here's the real twist that'll blow your mind. This isn't just about one blacksmith in one village. This is the story of human resilience itself. Every ancestor you have faced moments like this. Moments where everything hung in the balance, where giving up would have been easier than fighting. Thomas didn't just save his family that day, pass down something more valuable than gold. The knowledge that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they refuse to surrender. The next time life throws everything it has at you, remember Thomas Ironwood. Remember that your ancestors survived plagues, wars, famines, and disasters that would break most people today. Their strength flows in your veins. Want to discover more incredible stories of courage, survival, and the unbreakable human spirit that lives inside all of us? Smash that subscribe button and join our community of modern warriors who refuse to be ordinary. Because these aren't just history lessons, they're training manuals for conquering your own battles and forging your own legendary story.